Welcome to the deep dive.
Yeah.
Sometimes we forget about the incredible, rhythmic things happening inside our bodies, totally unseen.
It's like a biological symphony, really, just playing out constantly.
Exactly. And today, we're diving deep into one of the most, intricate of those, the menstrual cycle. It's fascinating stuff.
Absolutely. And our goal here, our mission, is to really break down its two main parts, the ovarian cycle and the uterine cycle, make it super clear,
Yeah, whether you're maybe acing biology or just trying to get the basics down.
Right. We want everyone to get it.
And hey, a special hello today, because this one is kind of custom made for Mr. Cheese students and all his followers on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube.
He does fantastic work explaining these things.
He really does. So we're hoping to make something that can feel complex, just click, make it clear, and honestly, pretty cool.
Okay, let's do it.
Let's unpack this really elegant biological dance.
Let's do it.
So first off, the menstrual cycle. What are we actually talking about?
Yeah.
It's essentially this series of changes, happens in the ovaries and the uterus, usually over about, 28 days?
On average, yeah. It starts around puberty, continues until menopause. It's regular, it's recurring, like clockwork almost.
Right, preparing the body potentially for pregnancy each month.
Yeah.
But it's not just one single thing happening, is it?
No, and that's key. It's actually two separate cycles, but they're perfectly synchronized. You've got the ovarian cycle, what's happening in the ovaries with the egg.
Okay.
And then the uterine cycle, what's happening in the uterus lining. They run side by side, totally connected.
Like two gears in a machine. They have to work together perfectly.
That's a great way to put it. One definitely influences the other. You can't really understand one without knowing about the other.
So why is it so important to think of them separately at first? What do people usually miss there?
Well, people often just lump it all together. But the key thing they miss is that the ovary is kind of the driver. The hormones produced in the ovary during its cycle are what cause the changes in the uterus. It's cause and effect, not just coincidence.
Gotcha. So understanding them one by one and putting it together makes sense.
Exactly. It reveals the real elegance of it all.
Okay, let's do that. Let's zoom in on the ovarian cycle first. This is all about the ovum, the egg cell, right? Its journey inside the ovary.
Precisely. The ovarian cycle is defined as the development and then the release of that egg. And it all gets kicked off by a hormone.
Right, FSH.
Yep, follicle-stimulating hormone, FSH. It comes from the pituitary gland, way up in the brain.
The master gland?
The master gland, exactly. It sends FSH down through the bloodstream to the ovary, basically telling it, okay, time to get started.
And FSH acts like you said before, a coach. It targets a primary follicle.
A primary follicle is like a tiny little container holding an immature egg. FSH stimulates it to grow, to mature.
Into something called a Graafian follicle.
That's the one. The Graafian follicle, it's bigger, it's filled with fluid, and it holds the now mature egg ready for potential release. Named after Renier de Graaf, by the way.
Oh, cool little fact.
Yeah, a 17th century anatomist. So the follicle itself is super important.
And it's not just holding the egg passively, right? It starts doing stuff.
Absolutely. As that Graafian follicle grows, it becomes a little hormone factory itself. It starts producing and pumping out estrogen.
Ah, okay. So estrogen levels start to rise in the blood.
Exactly. And that rising estrogen is a crucial signal. It's not just affecting the ovary, it's already starting to talk to the uterus, telling it to get ready too. It's the first big message.
Okay, so things are developing, estrogen is rising. Then comes the main event, right? Around day 14.
Yeah, this is where it gets pretty dramatic. Ovulation. The mature Graafian follicle actually ruptures.
Wow. And releases the egg.
Releases the ovum. And this specific event, the rupture, is triggered by another hormone.
LH, luteinizing hormone.
Spot on. LH, also from the pituitary gland. There's a big surge of LH right before ovulation.
How does the body time that surge so perfectly? It seems so precise.
It's this amazing feedback loop. So as estrogen rises from the follicle, it initially tells the pituitary to ease off a bit. But once estrogen hits a certain high level and stays there, it flips the switch. It suddenly tells the pituitary, okay, go now, which triggers that massive LH surge.
A positive feedback loop.
Exactly, which then causes the follicle to rupture. It's incredibly tuned.
That is cool. So the egg is released. Is LH done then?
Not quite. LH has another job. It acts on the leftover bits of the ruptured follicle, the empty sac.
Okay.
And it transforms that sac into a completely new structure. It's called the corpus luteum.
Corpus luteum. Means yellow body.
It does, yeah.
Yeah.
And this corpus luteum becomes the new hormone factory, taking over from the follicle. Its main job is producing progesterone.
Progesterone. So now progesterone levels start to rise in the blood.
Significantly, yes. It's a major hormonal shift post-ovulation.
Okay, so we have this corpus luteum making progesterone. What happens next kind of depends, doesn't it?
It absolutely depends on one thing: fertilization. Did the egg meet sperm or not?
Right. So scenario A, no fertilization, what happens?
If there's no fertilization, the corpus luteum eventually just gives up. It realizes it's not needed for a pregnancy.
Okay.
So it starts to shrink, it degenerates, and it stops making progesterone. Progesterone levels fall.
And the egg.
The unfertilized egg just travels down the fallopian tube, goes into the uterus, and eventually leaves the body during menstruation. Basically, the body hits reset.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
But scenario B, fertilization does happen.
Now this is completely different. If fertilization occurs, the corpus luteum gets a signal, essentially, to stay active.
It keeps going.
It keeps going, yes. And it keeps pumping out that progesterone, sometimes for the first few months of pregnancy.
Why? Why is that continued progesterone so important if pregnancy occurs?
Because progesterone is like the guardian of early pregnancy. It maintains that uterine lining, making sure it's thick and welcoming for the embryo.
Okay.
It also helps prevent uterine contractions that could disturb the implantation. And it keeps the environment nutrient-rich. It's absolutely critical for establishing and maintaining the pregnancy in those early stages.
Wow. So the fate of the corpus luteum is really a major fork in the road.
A huge one, dictated entirely by whether fertilization happens.
Okay, that covers the ovarian cycle,
Yeah.
the egg's journey, and the hormonal shifts there. But while all that's happening...
But the uterus isn't just waiting around, no.
Exactly. It's got its own cycle going on in parallel, the uterine cycle.
That's right. The uterine cycle is all about the changes in the uterus wall, specifically the inner lining, the endometrium.
Endometrium, bought it.
Over that same 28-day time frame, this lining gets thicker and much more vascular.
More blood vessels, basically.
Yep, richly supplied with blood vessels and glands. It's preparing a potential home, getting it ready, just in case a fertilized egg arrives.
And it's directly influenced by those ovarian hormones we just talked about.
Completely. Estrogen and progesterone are the conductors of the uterine symphony.
Okay, so what are the steps in the uterine cycle? It starts with, well, the most noticeable part for many.
Menstruation, yeah. Day 1 of the whole menstrual cycle is actually the first day of bleeding. This is when the endometrium, which was built up in the previous cycle but didn't receive an embryo, breaks down.
It's shed from the body.
Exactly.
Right.
Released. It's that monthly reset you mentioned, clearing out the old lining. Usually lasts about 4 to 7 days.
Okay, so after menstruation stops, what happens?
Well, back in the ovary, the new follicle is growing, remember?
Right.
And producing estrogen.
Right, estrogen levels are rising.
So that rising estrogen now acts on the uterus. It tells the endometrium, okay, time to rebuild.
Start thickening again.
Yep, thicken up, grow more blood vessels, more glands. Estrogen is driving this growth phase, this repair and proliferation phase after menstruation.
Making it lush again, like you said.
Exactly, getting the foundation laid.
Then after ovulation, the corpus luteum takes over hormone production in the ovary.
And starts making progesterone.
So now progesterone comes into play for the uterus too.
Big time. Progesterone takes that lining that estrogen started building and makes it even better. Even thicker, more developed glands, even more blood vessels.
Why even thicker and more developed? What's the point of that extra stage?
It's about making it receptive. Progesterone makes the lining sort of mature. It ensures it's not just thick, but also secreting nutrients and ready to accept and nourish an implanting embryo. It's the final perfecting stage. Rolling out the red carpet, as you said earlier.
Preparing that perfect nursery.
Precisely. If that preparation isn't right, if the progesterone signaling is off, implantation might fail, even if fertilization occurred.
That makes sense. It's really detailed preparation.
Very detailed. All geared towards potential implantation.
And then the final step depends again on fertilization, just like the corpus luteum's fate.
Exactly. If no fertilization happens, the corpus luteum degenerates, remember?
Yeah, progesterone levels drop.
And without that progesterone support, the highly developed endometrium can't be maintained. It breaks down. It tears away.
Resulting in menstruation again.
Which marks day 1 of the next cycle. It all comes full circle.
It's amazing how neatly it loops back. So you really can see how these two cycles, ovarian and uterine, are just completely locked together.
Deeply intertwined. They aren't just running in parallel. One is directly controlling the other through those hormones.
Estrogen, progesterone from the ovary.
Are the chemical messengers driving the thickening, maturing, and eventual shedding of the uterine lining? It's a constant conversation between the ovary and the uterus.
It's that perfectly timed machine or symphony we talked about.
A really beautiful example of physiological coordination.
And you mentioned, for folks who like visuals, there are figures and tables, figure 9, table 4, in our source material that actually map this out over the 28 days.
Yeah, they showed the hormone levels changing alongside the changes in the follicle, the corpus luteum, and the uterine lining thickness. Seeing it all together really clarifies how synchronized it is.
Definitely worth checking out if you're trying to visualize it.
It really is, and it makes you wonder, doesn't it? How does the body manage this precise timing, these complex signals, month after month?
Yeah, the feedback loops, the sensitivity.
Yeah.
It's incredible.
It highlights just how sophisticated our internal regulation systems are. Even tiny disruptions can throw things off,
Right.
which tells you how finely tuned it normally is.
Wow. Okay, that was a deep dive. Into the ovarian cycle, the uterine cycle, how they talk to each other.
From the follicle growing to ovulation to the corpus luteum, and parallel to that, the endometrium building up and breaking down.
It really is a testament to the body's design. Complex, but elegant.
It is. And understanding it is so fundamental, not just for exams, but for understanding health, fertility, even just how your own body feels and changes day to day.
Totally. It's empowering knowledge.
Very much so.
So we really hope this helped clarify things, whether you're one of Mr. Chi's high flyers looking for those hormonal feedback details, or, maybe someone who was struggling a bit to piece it all together.
Yeah, breaking it down step by step, hopefully, made those connections clear.
Understanding these core biological processes is just, it's cool and important.
Definitely. It makes you appreciate the complexity running silently inside us all the time.
Which leads to a final thought, maybe. What other silent symphonies are playing out inside us right now? What other intricate, coordinated processes are influencing how we function, how we feel, that we barely even notice?
That's a great question. There's a whole universe inside, governed by these kinds of precise biological rules and feedback loops. So much still to explore and understand.
Absolutely. And listen, another huge shout out to Mr. Chi and everyone in his community. We hope this was useful for you guys.
Yeah, he does amazing work making science accessible. If you like this breakdown, you'll definitely want to check out his stuff.
For sure. Follow and subscribe to Mr. Chi on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube. Keep that learning journey going. He's brilliant at explaining things clearly.
Truly an expert communicator for all levels.
Well, thanks for joining us on this deep dive, everyone. Keep learning, keep asking questions.
And keep exploring the wonders within.